What's up, guys? This is House Cat MMA, and right now I'm going over top 5 best fighters that never made it to the UFC. Number 1 being Fedor, the Last Emperor Emelianenko. Fedor at one point, well, at several points, there's conversation about him being the best in the world. He just wasn't in the UFC, so it was a tough sell. There was back in 2009, there were talks of him making it his way into the UFC, but his manager wanted some kind of crazy, unrealistic contract that the sum of money he wanted was unrealistic, and two, I'm pretty sure he wanted some type of ownership of the UFC. And Dana White was kind of like, not doing that. But Fedor has wins over Mirko Krokop, Kevin Randleman, Heath Herring, Semi Schilt, Mark Hunt, Mark Coleman, Ricardo Arona, Tim Sylvia, Pedro Hizzo, Hinata Babaluso Brawl, Jeff Monson, Rampage Jackson, Chael Sonnen, all sorts of guys. If you look at his record in Pride, you see a bunch of big name, former UFC champ, big name. He beat Big Nog. He beat all kinds of dudes. His style was kind of like, I don't know if he meant to do it, but he lost a good bit of his fights until he won them. A lot of his wins were comeback wins, not crazy comeback, not Czech Congo versus Pat Barry comeback, but it was just fights where, there were some fights where it was looking like, oh God, Fedor might lose this one. And then he comes back with a Hail Mary of a right hand. And he did have a very fast right hand, one of the faster that I've ever seen. Like, he just be kind of like, so the shit. And he didn't even really see him throw it. Like, you did, but it took, from the time his hand went from here to the dude's head, your eyes could not register. When he fought Mark Coleman, there was a point in time where Coleman had his back, and he's kind of giving him like reach around punches. And Fedor just kind of had this look on his face, like where he was like, "You done there, big man?" And when Kevin Randleman took him to Suplex City, his facial expression did not change. He is the most stoic fighter to ever fight. He was a rings champ. He was a WAMA champ. I thought he was going to be on his way to being Strikeforce champ, but it did not work out that way. But Prime Fedor, number 1. Number 2 is Douglas Lima. Douglas Lima beat Lorenz Larkin, Ben Saunders, Clint Hester, Rory McDonald, Paul Daly, not to be confused with John Daly. If he fought John Daly, it wouldn't have gone so smoothly. Terry Martin, he had a really cool knockout against Michael Venom Page. He beat Andrei Korshkov. He had a very good, because him and Roy McDonald fought twice. And their first fight that he lost was a very good scrap. And he was an MFC champ. He was a 2-time Bellator champ. So Prime Douglas Lima was definitely, I don't think he would have been champ in the UFC, but I think it's possible he would have been a top 5 contender in the UFC had he fought in the organization. Number 3, we got Igor Vovchanchin, mainly because of his 38-fight win streak. Okay, now this 38-fight win streak is not official because he had a no contest against Mark Kerr. Because of the whole situation where he had Mark Kerr kind of like balled up like this. and Vovchanchin was getting hit with knees to the top of the head, and they deemed those illegal knees after the fact. And I remember being no more than 6 years old watching that fight. I was watching an old Pride DVD, and I was liking it at first, but then I just saw him getting those knees to the top of the head. I just remember thinking, A, that looks like it kind of hurts, and B, I didn't know that another human being could do that to another human being and feel okay about it. He's got wins over Dan Bobish, Gilbert Ivel, Mark Kerr. Pretty much it was a no contest, but I consider it a win. And Gary Goodridge. He was a 5'8" tall heavyweight, which is crazy. And he was never Pride champ, but he came damn close to it. So Igor Vovchanchin, number 3. Number 4 is Kazushi, the Gracie Hunter, Sakuraba. Hodor, don't be making sounds while I'm doing production. You want to make a cameo? You can make a cameo. Just don't knock the camera over like you did that one time when I cussed you. And I've been meaning to say sorry. I'm sorry I cussed you that one time. But, oh yeah, Kazushi, the Gracie Killer, Hunter rather, Sakuraba. He beat Vernon Tiger White. He beat Hoyler, Henzo, and Hoist Gracie. He beat Carlos Newton. And he beat Kevin Randleman. And I think he's number 4 because, hey buddy, you want to come here? I got the boy Hodor with me. What do you think about the whole Kazushi, the Gracie Hunter, Sakuraba thing, bud? What? Pretty cool guy? Yeah. I think a big part of this list for me is how big of a name was this person outside of the UFC. And I remember being 10, 11, 12 hearing about this whole Kazushi Sakuraba thing, and I was like, who the devil is this Kazushi Sakuraba? But he did all kinds of cool shit outside the UFC. He never won a belt, but he was a huge name. And he is the only guy to have 3 wins against 3 different Gracie brothers. Well, not necessarily brothers, but they're related somehow. And number 5, we got none other than Muhammad King Mo Lalal. He was one of the better guys in Strikeforce. He was a Strikeforce champion. He beat Gegard Mousasi for the belt. He beat Chet Congo in Bellator. He beat Seth Petrozelli at one point. He doesn't get spoken of enough. He did, in fact, beat Yuri Prohaska. He knocked Yuri Prohaska out. He was a 2013 Bellator Grand Prix winner. He was a 2015 Ryzen Grand Prix winner. And he also, he has a win against Mark Kerr, a washed up Mark Kerr, but still Mark Kerr. And Mike Whitehead. Mike Whitehead was a pretty strong guy and not a bad fighter, so that's a pretty good win. He fought Rampage Jackson twice, lost the first one, won the second one. He had a rough end to his career, which kind of takes away some of his previous shine, but there was a point in time where King Mo was that dude outside of the UFC in the heavier weight classes, because he did fight heavyweight and light heavyweight. But that's my top 5 best fighters to never make it to the UFC. Fedor Emelianenko, Douglas Lima, Igor Vovchanchin, Kazushi Sakuraba, and King Mo. Because I forgot to mention earlier, I don't remember if I mentioned earlier, I kind of just messed up this whole video, but he beat Gegard Mousasi for the Strikeforce light heavyweight title. I watched that fight live. I was in the 6th grade. This is House Cat MMA. I'll catch y'all later.